Hey gang, I am a big advocate of the CAGED system, but I've struggled and I've seen lots of players struggle with it over the 30 odd years that I've taught it. Here are some of the biggest roadblocks and how to get unstuck coming right up. Now the CAGED system is a fantastic way of visualizing the entire fretboard of the guitar, and it's based on the shapes of 5 open major chords. That's great, but it does have some drawbacks. For one thing, it's kind of abstract. So you know what? If that's not your bag, no harm, no foul. Just learn some of your favorite songs on the guitar. Get plenty of joy out of that. Believe me, your friends will still love you. If you want to continue with the CAGED system, however, here are some of the drawbacks and how to get past them. Number 1, not knowing the notes of the fretboard. I know, I harp on this all the time, but seriously, you're not going to understand CAGED if you don't have a basic understanding of the notes of the fretboard. It doesn't have to be boring. You don't have to go through the Mel Bay books like I did, and you don't need to memorize a ton of things. You just have to do it a little bit every day. I've linked a video below that shows you how to do that. It's well worth the effort. You don't have to be the best in the world at it. You just have to have a pretty good understanding of it. Number 2, not knowing the notes that give the name to the chord. Did you know that every chord has a first name and a last name? It's true. Like this chord right here. C major, first name C, last name major. Or this chord right here. B minor, first name B, last name minor. Now we music teachers talk about roots of chords, but you know what? Root is not that descriptive. The note that names the chord is much more descriptive. So whenever you learn a chord shape, think of the notes that name the chord. Let me give you an example. Here we have a C-shaped C major chord. And here are the notes that name that chord. Here we've got another chord with exactly the same shape. So these same 2 notes should name that chord. This is an E major chord. Whenever you learn a new chord shape, make sure you take the time to learn which notes give the chord its first name. Number 3, confusing language. A C-shaped G major chord? Huh? Yeah, I was confused by this too, but you know what? We do this pretty naturally with lots of other things. For example, if you take a Corvette and you paint it red, you get a red Corvette. If you paint it black, you get a black Corvette. The shape of the car stays the same. Let's take an example with a chord. Let's take the A shape. The notes that name the chord are here on the A string and the G string. They're both A's. Now if we move that shape up to here, it's still that same A shape, right? And these are the notes that name the chord. Voila, an A-shaped D major chord. Number 4, there is no F shape. The E shape is the F shape. They're both one and the same. You don't believe me? Let's have a look. Here's the E chord shape. Now here's our F chord. See how they're both the same? I know, you want to call it the F shape anyway, but you know what? In F, there's no open notes, right? They're all fretted, so it's not even an open chord. And besides, that would make it the CAG-FUD system. Just doesn't have the same ring to it as CAGED. Number 5, but these chords are hard to play. True, but you don't have to play the full chords. Remember, this is a system for visualizing the fretboard. For playing these chords, a lot of times we will use a concept called partial chords, which are actually really easy to finger and thus easy to play all over the fretboard. Really liberating. Number 6, what about minor chords? Yep, it's an issue. We're going to cover that as well as playing partial chords in the upcoming lessons. Until then, why don't you check out this video? I predict you're going to like it. We'll see you on down the road.